Hello everyone, in this video I will unpack my 5-piece insulated toolkit from Klein tools. Every single one of these is officially rated at 1000 volts and made in USA. I have previously cut open this blister pack, so I will just unpack it. This is the wire stripper, the flathead screwdriver, diagonal cutter, Phillips screwdriver, and the 9-inch Lineman pliers. This 9-inch Lineman pliers has the model number 2139 NEEINS. The handles are wrapped in the officially rated 1000 volt insulation with the Klein Tools logo and also the logo of the standard that was used to certify the 1000 volt insulation rating. This is a high leverage design, which means that the pivot is much closer to the cutting edge, requiring less effort in cutting materials when compared with conventional pliers, with the pivot being designed much more on the center. I can open and close these pair of pliers with my hand without any difficulty, so this is good. The only thing that I do not really like about it is that the cutting knives or the side cutters has a gap on the upper half of it. The jaws don't come completely in contact, but I already expected that. Despite the tiny gap there, cutting copper conductors is not a problem. It can even be used to cut this 2mm steel wire. That gap there will only be a problem if you're cutting wires with very fine strands like this number 20 AWG wire, in which case it will only mash the wires and not cut them. But if you cut the wire with the insulator, there is no problem. So although this is a bit of a bummer, the gap there, it's not a deal breaker. I should note though that according to the packaging, these electrician's insulated side cutters has induction hardened cutting knives for long life, but I think this is only for copper and aluminum conductors. The tool here that has the rating for cutting ACSR, including screws, nails, and most hardened wire, is the diagonal cutter. This one. The diagonal cutter is model number 200028EINS, also a high leverage design. The handles are also wrapped in 1000 volt insulation with the finger guard here, giving a protective barrier. If I wish to open it fully, I need to use both of my hands, as opening it fully is quite stiff. But I can open it up to the reach of my little finger without much effort, so that's not too bad. The cutting knives are perfectly aligned and there is no gap. This is an 8-inch diagonal cutter. Now the packaging clearly says that you can use this for cutting ACSR, screws and nails and most hardened wires, but I believe that the cutting knives here are not indestructible. I have seen reviews at Amazon where they mentioned that the cutting knives of diagonal cutters, even Klein ones, Klein tools, like this one, were chipped or destroyed after cutting really hard materials. And so I believe that the cutting knives here are not indestructible, and it would be a pity if by cutting those hard materials the cutting knives were destroyed, because it will render the knives useless, but also, most importantly, it will also render useless this very valuable insulation of the tool. In any case, I think that if you already invested in insulated tools, you probably have other kinds of tools that you use to cut hardened materials. These are the pair of screwdrivers, also made in USA. Very nice rubber handle, amber colored material there. A flathead screwdriver and a Phillips screwdriver. Let's try them on the screws of this mini circuit breaker. As you can see, the screw of this electrical device has been designed for Phillips and the flathead screwdriver. This is the Phillips screwdriver and it fit there perfectly. Let's try the flathead screwdriver. It also fit perfectly. So these screwdrivers were made specifically for screws of electrical devices like this mini circuit breaker. The wire stripper also possesses this 1000 volt rated insulation. It has strippers for number 10 to number 18 solid conductors and number 12 to number 20 stranded conductors, including screw cutters size 632 and 832. It also has these cutting knives here, or shears. Stripping wires using this wire stripper is quite easy. The only problem I have with this wire stripper is that it did not come with a locking mechanism. The spring here is quite good, so it reduces fatigue on the hands. What I did was to create a temporary lock using Velcro straps. I made a short video about this. The Velcro strap makes it easy to lock and unlock or open and close the tool. It can also be easily slipped on and off. So there you have it, guys, the Klein Tools 5-piece 1000 volt insulated tool set. If you like this video, I'd like to ask if you would subscribe to my channel so that I can bring you more content like this one. Thank you for watching, and if you have any comments or suggestions, just write them down below. Stay safe.